I got a phone call from from Godwin Benjamin earlier in the year, where he was saying to me, "Look, we found a building." And you know, when that phone call comes, you expect there to be a price tag with that. And so I was about to say, "Well, sorry, Godwin, we can't help you." When he said, "Well, we don't need any money. The council are giving us the building," and I was very fortunate to be able to go down and be with them on Sabbath as they had their opening. And here is a building in New Addington that the council used to use. They've vacated it, and they've brought in a lot of charities to occupy the facility. And their raison d'etre is now to use that building, get out into the community, and make it happen. They've got to justify their use of that building by making an impact in the community. This year, I've been to the one church that has done that very, very effectively out in Southampton, the Bitton Group. I went to see them in the afternoon. After lunch, they have the drum corps practice, you know, so I stayed and watched them practicing the drumming for Pathfinders, and they were making a racket. You know, it was really a lot of noise, and I'm thinking, well, any minute now there's going to be banging from the neighbours, because they're in the midst of an estate, a housing estate. And I'm thinking, well, these people are going to come out and say, "Shut up!" As I'm watching, I see parents coming out, but they're standing up and watching their own kids who are part of the drum corps group practicing inside with the church, and they're just delighted. And here's a group who have found a way of engaging with the community, letting the community know that they're there, and being user-friendly within the community. And I think that that's the way to go for our churches, to make an impact in the community, befriend the community, let them know that you're there, really mingling and winning people for the Lord Jesus Christ. And so that's one thing that's gone very, very well this year. It was really a joy to behold. And also in Dunstable, we have Pastor Simon Martin again using a community centre, and there the councillors are arguing over, well, what are we going to do with this group? They want to knock down the facility, but they have made themselves so integral a part of the community that they're saying, well, we've got to find these people a building. We're going to, and in the new development, they want to make sure that they're a part. You know, so I think that coming up to the end of 2013, we've seen some very positive moves where we're getting into the community, being a part of the fabric in the community. For the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the South England Conference, it's been a good year for us. We began with the Evangelism Expo at New World College, where we launched Mission to the Big Cities. Our members were really enthused by that program, and in general, I think it has been very well received. We saw over 300 members being baptized in London. I think there are lessons to be learnt from the Mission to the Cities program. So we continue with the Mission to the Cities theme into the new year. We want to see it broadened out into the towns and the provinces in the conference. And I'm really pleased to see the way in which our members have responded this year, but I think also the provincial city towns should be able to benefit from that. And some of them already have done that. So every conference is also now supposed to choose a city. We've designated Bristol as our targeted city for 2015. And with such a long run-up, we've got time to really prepare for that, for that city to take the program. This year has been a year of tragedies. You know, we saw the Sandy Hook massacre in America. We've seen the typhoon in the Philippines, where many lives have been lost. And so I think at this point of the year, I'd like to say thank you to God for looking after those of us who are alive, you know, because we travel. We could have been in America, could be in the Philippines, anywhere where these tragedies strike. and God has protected us. So we want to say thank you to God that we are still alive. But I also want to say, let us remember those who have lost their lives, because it could have been any one of us. I was very pleased with the response from our church members in making a contribution to ADRA to help out in the Philippines, because it's one thing to hear about these disasters and we can sit in front of our TV and cry, but we need to put our hands in our pockets and really reach out to those individuals. As we move into 2014, I think that we will continue with the evangelistic drive, but we also want to remember the suffering of humanity around us, and I trust that 2014 will be a positive year for all. But we also live at a time when we recognize that these natural disasters will become more and more frequent as we look forward to the second coming of the Lord Jesus Christ.